America, if it keeps going this same direction, it will not be a Christian nation anymore. It will not be a free nation. It has the potential to become an Islamic or a communist nation if it keeps heading the same direction, if pastors keep being weak, if pastors don't start preaching the gospel. America will become a Muslim nation. So I'm going to give you a little bit of history. So Egypt, where I come from, when you think Middle East, when you think Egypt, the first thing that comes to mind to you is Islam, right?
Right.
Well, Egypt was a Christian country, believe it or not, for not even 300, more than that, almost 600 years of the first, since Jesus went to heaven, Egypt became a Christian nation. It was over 90% Christian. It was as Christian or more Christian than America is today.
Wow.
And even a lot of the theologians that wrote the Nicene Creed you'd be familiar with, they were from Egypt, or Egyptian theologians. They were actually sending missionaries out to Europe to tell the Europeans and the English about Jesus. Because you have to think about it. Jesus was in Israel. Israel is right next to Egypt. The Gospels Christianity starts in Israel. It goes out to Egypt, to Syria, to Turkey, Constantinople, Rome, and Christianity. People associate it with the West and Europe, but it didn't start in Europe, obviously. Jesus was a Jew, right? And what happened is that in 600 AD, Islam popped on the block. Muhammad, the false prophet, claimed to have received a revelation from an angel who was a demon, and he started preaching for 12 years peacefully about his new God Allah. And within those 12 years, he only managed to convert about 100 people. A lot of them were with his family. Nobody really took him seriously. He wasn't very successful. What he did, no one believed him, and it wasn't really going well for him until he changed his strategy after that, and he went from a peaceful preacher, and he became a warlord.
Yeah.
So rather than going to preach, he immigrated to a place called Medina, which is which means city. He immigrated to the city, which is basically, and he immigrated peacefully there until he built enough followers, and then he switched from peaceful immigration to sword and taking over by force, and which is an ancient Islamic strategy of conquering and conquest. And we've seen many nations, over 50 nations have fallen to Islam. And though the Islamic immigration today seems very peaceful, very quiet, it is only a matter of time when there's enough followers, when there is enough numbers, where it will go from peaceful to violent. And we're already seeing it here in Australia. We just had the Bondi attack, where 14 Jews were killed by two Muslim jihadis, two Muslim immigrants. And we had hundreds of people at the city of Sydney shouting gas at Jews. And you're already seeing the true colors of Islam, the true spirit of Islam, the spirit of violence. And though it might seem like peaceful immigration at the beginning, it's gonna be a matter of time where it's gonna turn from peaceful immigration to conquest. And that's what Muhammad did. He started with peaceful immigration, and then it ended up with full-on conquest, and he conquered all of Arabia, all the Arabian tribes, by sword. He killed anybody who disagreed with him. And the Islamic religion in that time, it was very appealing to men. Why? Because it promised men three sinful desires as they could have. One, they could steal. Where any city, town they could raid, they would steal the money, they would steal the gold, they can take it. You can steal. Number two, sex. They could rape any person from the raid, any infidel, which means anyone who's not a Muslim, you can rape in that, take them, even if they're kids, you take them as your sex slaves. And three, it promised them power. You get to kill. You get to become powerful. So it was very appealing to the sinful desires of men. And that's why I was very successful, especially among the Arabian tribes that were pagan and barbaric.
Right.
And from there, it spread within 100 years of Muhammad's death, Islam had conquered 75% of the Christian world. Let that sink in. 75% of the Christian world that was evangelized, by Mark, Matthew, Peter, Paul, and all the apostles, 75% became Muslim. And the 25% that survived Islam was Europe. You guys were the 25% left over that survived. And yeah, that's a little bit of history of Islam for you. And so just so you can get a little bit of a wake-up call, if America does not wake up, if Europe does not wake up, Europe is already turning Muslim. UK is already turning Muslim. Australia is already turning Muslim. And if America is the last standing beacon of light, beacon of hope, and if Christians are weak, if pastors are weak, if they don't stand their ground, if they don't speak the truth, if they don't fight for the truth, fight for their children, their family, and their nation, it will become Muslim, and America will fall as they abandon Jesus.
If this conversation blessed you today, please hit the like button and subscribe. It genuinely helps YouTube push this message to more people who need to hear it. If you're listening on audio, a 5-star review is a huge help. Share this episode with a friend or family member who needs encouragement, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.